Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So friends, in this video we will have our discussion on the weekly horoscope results for the week of January 12th till January 18th. So friends, I always say don't watch this video as a prediction, because prediction will only be applicable if I know your natal planetary alignments or your running dasha. Look at it as a weekly planning video, because the transit of the planets do create a difference in our external environment. The journey of the moon somehow governs our daily life as well. And friends, this is actually going to be a very transitional kind of week. I was initially skeptical that shall I make this video, because I don't get much view on my weekly videos, but just like that I thought those who actually watch it, it is actually going to be very informational for them, because it is a surprising week that on all the days there is some major planetary shift happening. Like on Tuesday, Venus will move to the Capricorn. On Wednesday, Makar Sankranti, Sun will move to Capricorn. Then on Friday, Mars will get exalted in the Capricorn. Saturday, Mercury will move to Capricorn. And then eventually on a Sunday, all these planets are going to be co-joined with the planet Moon as well. So I mean to say a lot of shift is happening this week. And let's say for example, if you have any important planets in the Sagittarius sign, Capricorn sign, you are running the dasha of a planet which is placed in the Sagittarius or in the Capricorn, you can expect a turnaround. And yes friends, just because with all these transition happening in the cosmos, in the sky, over and above that, moon being in the Scorpio, from Tuesday, from January 13th till January 15th. So then that means our emotions, our feelings are also going to be slightly sensitive, slightly volatile. So knowing that becomes very important. Now many people ask me, Nipun, shall I watch this from my ascendant, from the moon sign? So again friends, that is a call which you have to take. I have like 4 planets in the Aquarius, and moon is a part of it. And I have noticed that more than the ascendant, I also get the results, very strong results from my moon sign as well. So I will not say that just restrict yourself only to the ascendant. My recommendation is that always try to understand. You have to judge your chart on your own, that planets are giving you better or stronger results from the moon or from the ascendant. Your chart is stronger from the ascendant or from the moon. Because when we talk about the karmic planets like Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, we generally give more attention to studying it from the moon only, right? So okay friends, on this note we will start our discussion. So starting first with the Aries Lagna natives. So friends, for the Aries Lagna, moon becomes your fourth lord. So that in itself tells about that anything to do with the matters of your business, thoughts of scaling up, or even in the matters of relationship and all, the week will start on a good note. But again friends, if I were to say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is going to be slightly emotionally sensitive for you. And along with that, we cannot overlook this fact that your ascendant lord is right now combust, and it is actually in a transition this week. So I would say that don't be in a rush, in a haste to take any important decision, especially on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But if I were to say friends, around the end of the week, you can expect some major turnaround, like in the matters of your career, especially connected to your status, elevation of the status, or anything to do with expecting a job interview call, job confirmation and all. So that can happen around the end of the week. So friends, if I were to say in the matters of the relationship, I'm not seeing any major concerns. For the students friends, because Ketu is right now transiting in your 5th house, a lot is happening in your life, in your subconsciousness, in your thought process, which is governed by the cosmos, which can actually be said as a lot of the fated events or fated thoughts are coming to your mind. So just go with the flow, and meditation actually prove out to be very helpful. Devotion to the higher energies, to your Ishta Devta, tend to remain very beneficial, especially if you are in a crossroad or you are finding yourself being lost. For the students and all friends, because your 5th lord now is going to be strengthened in the 10th house, co-joined with your ascendant lord, with your 3rd lord, with your 6th lord. So if you have to give any interview, any competitive situation or scenario, stars are going to be very supportive for you. But yes friends, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you have to be careful. Your emotions, your mind, even the domestic life is going to be slightly unstable. So reciting Hanuman Chalisa is going to be very therapeutic for you. And any land or property related deal, the energy is not very stable this week. Your fourth lord being debilitated, your ascendant lord being combust. So I will not recommend any important land or property related deals for this week. Okay friends, now moving ahead. Now when we talk about the Taurus Lagna natives, so friends, for the Taurus Lagna natives, the good news is that all that planetary stellium or the planetary concentration which has been there in your 8th house, now slowly gradually will start shifting to your 9th house, which is a very supportive sign. Like if I were to say you're planning any travel, anything to do with the higher studies and all, so over there stars are going to be very supportive. Like even undertaking any pilgrimage and all is going to be reinforcing the prospects of your luck. Now friends, in your case, moon happened to be your third lord. So if I were to say the start of the week, especially like on Monday and all, work related commitment, duties, responsibilities will keep you busy, will keep you occupied. The mid of the week, like from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it is slightly stressful on the matters of the relationship, and my advice to you is that don't be in a rush, don't be in a haste to take any impulsive kind of decision, because your ascendant lord is combust, your 7th lord is combust, and they are in a transition from 8th house to the 9th house. So let's say for example, if you're already going through some tumultuous kind of situation in the matters of relationship, the end of this week might stabilize things for you. But let's say for example, if you're already at the losing end of your hope, so driven by the anxiousness, anxiety, stress, you might end up taking wrong decision. So my recommendation to the Taurus Lagna native is that, especially connected to your business, connected to the matters of the relationship, refrain from taking any important decision around Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And afterwards friends, because around the end of the week, when all the planets are going to be stationed now, placed in your 9th house, and your 3rd lord being a part of that, so end of the week can actually facilitate some sort of travel as well, some travel or some auspicious good news or some religious ceremony, or being invited to any religious ritual, ceremony, gathering. So all of that can happen. So yes friends, that is all what I can say for the Taurus Lagna natives. The beginning and the end of the week is going to be beneficial for you. Just in the mid of the week, energy is slightly sensitive, volatile, vulnerable, especially in the matters of relationship or business. So don't be in a rush, in a haste to take any impulsive decision. Now friends, when we talk about the Gemini Lagna natives, so friends, for the Gemini Lagna natives, all the planetary shift now is going to be happening in your 8th house. So for all the Gemini Lagna, the way I have been warning you in the month of the December, when too much of the planetary concentration was there in your 6th house, now again that volatile energy will again loom when all these planetary concentration is going to happen in your 8th house. So friends, to begin with, see, when we talk about anything to do with the art, entertainment, education, speculation, stock market and all, so energy, the start of the week is going to be supportive for that, when moon, your 2nd lord, is going to be transiting in your 5th house. But afterwards friends, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is slightly sensitive, because the way I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this whole week some or other planet is in a transition, and where they are heading, they are headed towards your 8th house. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, your 2nd lord is going to be debilitated in the 6th house. So again friends, this is a transitional week, and over and above that, let's say for example, if you're already like you have any health concern, which is a 6th house related problem, you have any issue with the co-workers, 6th house related problem, any debt related problems, conflict related problems. So don't be too impulsive, too quick to come to any conclusion or act with harshness, with rudeness. So refrain from that, because it looks like the mid of the week is going to be slightly pressurizing for you. Like there's going to be volatility, unpredictability, and your mind is going to be under some sort of pressure. So that is the only reason I'm saying this thing. And let's say, for example, if you're also running some like unfavorable dasha, so then I would say like, you know, doing any part, any raksha kwach is going to be very supportive for you. Like for example, friends, I live in Vancouver. I'm very much regular, consistent with a meditation group like Bodhisattva, Bodhi meditation. So over there, they say light a lamp. So it is going to be protective for you. So something like that. Obviously, if your dasha is also indicating that. Friends, if I were to say, Friday, Saturday is going to be slightly beneficial. Energy is going to be slightly calm. If you have to take any important decision connected to your like public responsibilities, obligation, or business or family, get together with family and all, Friday, Saturday is going to be beneficial for that. But again, friends, the end of the week is going to be bringing some major shift. There is going to be a major shift because moon is going to be a part of it, and like almost, friends, like 5 planets in your 8th house. So it's not an easy energy to deal with. So just do the part, do the raksha kwach. That's all what I can say. And obviously, friends, like if you are connected with insurance, occult, passive income, investigation, research, astrology and all, so in certain cases, like there could be some sudden speculative gain as well. Oh my god, like yesterday there was a news in Vancouver, like in Ontario, someone won this lotto ticket of 55 million. So these kind of things happen, you know, when your 8th house is very strong. So I'm not saying that it is going to happen to you. My best wishes, if it is in your fate, it shall happen to you. But yes, the week is indicating caution, care, friends. In the matters of relationship, you are well guarded, well protected. See, the thing is, when Jupiter is transiting your 1st house, just there is a protective grace over your head. All what is required is to have that faith and be ritualistic. See, you can also make peace with Saturn through hard work, through service. But Jupiter demands some ritual. Ritual has to be a part of it. So yes, friends, that's all what I can say for the Gemini Lagna natives. Now, friends, when we talk about the Cancer Lagna natives, so your emotions, your feelings, and a lot of the planetary shift now happening in your 7th house. So friends, if I were to say, the way I mentioned this thing in the monthly horoscope as well, that whatever you have sown in the first half of this month, I would say like in the last 2 weeks, now this is going to be the time to capitalize on that. So slowly, gradually, all the planets like Venus, Sun, Mars, Mercury, all are going to be now shifting to your 7th house. And at the end of the week, your ascendant lord is going to be co-joining them, is going to be a part of it. So friends, to begin with, see, if I were to say anything connected with the matters of the relationship, anything connected with some major speculative gains in the business, the end of the week, by the time you will reach the end of the week or you will culminate this week, you will have something good to say, to be grateful, to be thankful for. So this is how energy is going to be. And also, friends, let's say, for example, if you are already going through some health related concern, some workplace pressure. See, the thing is, Mars is a good planet for you. Even if it is in the Sagittarius, it is a strong placement for it. Like from the 10th house, it is 9 places ahead of it. But the only concern is that 6th house demand a lot of competition, conflict, and like proving your mettle. So that is the kind of energy you have been dealing with. But I would say now is the time to capitalize on that, to get the reward for all the hardship and all. So around the end of the week, friends, I can actually say that there is going to be a high possibility of some good news which you can expect. This could be in the business, this could be in the family life. This could be a case that if not you, within the marriage, within the relationship, it's your partner only who will bring home some good news. So that possibility is there. And let's say, for example, if you have been dealing with any health related concern, anything to do with the office, pressurizing kind of situation, so things will calm down around the end of the week. And friends, if I were to look specifically to the journey of the moon this week, so around Monday the energy is more of like very domestic kind of energy, very emotionally driven kind of energy. Will this is how you will start the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, friends, fifth house, moon is going to be debilitated in the fifth house, although it is a trine house, but at the same time major planetary shift transition is happening. So if I were to say, friends, don't be too stressed out. If you are expecting any turnaround, like this could be a case that nothing wrong is going to happen in your academics, nothing wrong is going to happen to your children, to your family, to your business. But sometimes, like those people, especially with Cancer Lagna and their moon is weak in the chart, they start panicking. Like, people who get very easily distressed, easily panicked. So be calm. Everything is aligning in your favor. Like, have faith, have trust. I'm telling you, everything is getting aligned in your favor. All what is expected out of you this week is that you don't have to panic. Because when moon is in the fifth house, so you're already driven by your emotions. Fifth house also governs your thoughts. And with this transition, suddenly some people lose out, especially if the natal moon is weak. And friends, around the end of the week, especially Friday, Saturday is very supportive for any competitive kind of situation. You have to write any competitive exam, anything to do with the workplace related negotiation, conversation, execution of work. That is how energy is going to be coming out, getting generated for the Cancer Lagna. It's just like that. The mid of the week looks like many Cancer Lagna native are going to be booking their reading with me or with some astrologer because of some distress or some sort of like panic which could happen. Slight possibility of that. But overall, friends, if I were to say, around the end of the week you will have some good news to celebrate, or in the family and all, high possibility of that. And all other areas, friends, if I were to say, because your fourth lord is going to be a part of it, so anything connected with any important purchases, any domestic purchases or renovation or land property related dealing and all, finalization of those deals, all of that can be done, but around the end of the week. Okay, friends, now let's move ahead. Now when we talk about the Leo Lagna natives, so again, friends, like when I talk about the Leo Lagna, so the thing which always comes to my mind is like what is happening right now in US. And because in the chart of the US and the president like Donald Trump, it is very strongly Leo ruled. And now, just because there have been a lot of speculation going on about the plans, the upcoming plans for the with the Trump administration, and now with this sixth house getting so accentuated, so we can expect, like there was this news, I guess Tucker Carlson only in one of his like podcast, he mentioned that the way America is increasing their defense budget, it is not a defense budget, it is a war budget. So they are planning to wage war somewhere. I wish for peace in the world. And talking about your customized analysis, friends. So friends, first of all, yes, a lot of the planets are shifting their base from your fifth house, and this week, the whole week is going to be witnessing, okay, one planet, boom, second planet gone, third planet gone. Everything is getting aligned in your sixth house, which is actually empowering you. You are a doctor, you are a lawyer, you have to write any competitive exam for the exertion, execution of your authority, a very kind of blessed time. And also, friends, if we were to give attention to the journey of the moon, so the week will start with, like I would say, like some Monday will have that energy of socialization, some sort of short travels, which will prove out to be profitable. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is slightly sensitive, especially if you are running those dasha, which could make you stress prone, because amidst all that transition happening, and let's say for example your moon is like debilitated in the fourth house. And friends, for the Leo Lagna, I will not talk about dosha. I will not talk about like whether moon or sun gets the dosha of the rulership of the Dushtana Bhava or not. Here I'm not talking about that. But yes, with Leo Lagna's case, if moon is afflicted in the chart, they always have that fear of unknown. like, okay, something is going to happen, I'm feeling very anxious, someone is harming me, someone is planning behind my back, because moon has got a rulership over the 12th house, right? So I mean to say, just don't panic too much. I will not recommend taking any important land, property or domestic life related decision around the mid of the week. Like, if you can even avoid this week, it is going to be much better for you. Like any concern of property, relocation, political aspiration, you are a farmer and all. So the mid of the week is slightly making you anxious and, like, you know, prone towards conspiracy theories, people turning behind me. And because planets have empowered you so much, imagine waging a war just on the wrong assumption. So that is the kind of energy getting generated. So, and but friends, the good thing is that Thursday, like Friday, Saturday is going to be slightly beneficial for you, because around Thursday, Friday, Saturday, moon is going to be transiting in your 5th house. So like the way I mentioned, if you are a student, anything to do with the, like, people who are connected with the government, student, counselor, advisors, connected with stock market and all, it's going to be beneficial for that. Like around Thursday, Friday, Saturday is beneficial. And yes, the week will end when you will have 5 planets in your 6th house. So on Sunday, so expect some major turnaround. And yes, all what I can say to the Leo Lagna native right now is that just conserve your energy. You have too much of the energy. Don't use it to, like, for the aggressive exertion. Use it for your own structure, discipline and self-development. Now friends, when we talk about the Virgo Lagna natives, so friends, for the Virgo Lagna natives, like a lot of the planetary shift happening every single day of this week, where planets are now going to be shifting their base and coming to your 5th house. That in itself tells about that if you're a student, you are an advisor, you are an actor, or connected with stock market, speculation and all. So the week will like around or by the end of the week, you will have a reason to cherish, because then the whole planetary shift would have taken place in your 5th house. When we talk about the journey of the moon, friends, so in your case, the week will start when your 11th lord is going to be transiting in your 2nd house. So a very good time for any financial dealing or family related matters. The thing is, the mid of the week, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, moon is going to be debilitated in your 3rd house. And right at that time, like those time when planets are every single day shifting their base. So I would say that mind is going to be slightly sensitive, and when you have like 11th lord being debilitated in the 3rd house, sometimes what happens is that like, you know, people misinterpret you. Your communication gets misinterpreted, or you might not be that materialistic or money minded, but people might interpret it that way. Also not a very good energy. Let's say, for example, you have to ask someone to return the money, or you are negotiating a financial deal. So there is some sort of unstable kind of energy happening over there. So for any financial negotiation and all, the mid of the week is not very supportive. And also friends, just because a lot is happening these days, because you know, people use social media to weaponize it, to rant against something. So if your running dashas are not very stable or supportive, I would warn against it, especially people who have that habit of ranting and all. I only say this thing, friends, we are living in a day and age of the AI, friends. Machines are becoming intelligent. Humans cannot be that stupid, please. And yeah, don't act with vengeance, negativity, because it might backfire. So mid of the week, I will not recommend any last minute travels, last minute finalization of any paperwork, agreement, becoming a guarantor of someone. I will not recommend that. But friends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, when especially Friday, Saturday, moon is going to be transiting in your 4th house. So some sort of socialization or some important domestic life related matters you can take. Mind is going to be slightly calm. And the end of the week, like 5 planets concentrated in your 5th house. So this is going to be a very peak time. But again, friends, the concern is that when your 5th house is being like, you have that stellium of planets, too many planets in the 5th house. So mind is bombarded with many thoughts. So unless and until your chart is very structured, then you don't have to worry about it. Otherwise, it can actually, suddenly life will open many doors, many options, and now you are confused. So be organized, friends. Do the japa, any East Devata you have, do the chanting for that. Especially for the Virgo Lagna, their devotion to Lord Vishnu, Lord Ganesh actually guides them, protects them very well. So yes friends, that's all what I can say for the Virgo Lagna natives for this week. Now friends, when we talk about the Libra Lagna natives, so like the way friends, I'm sure you would have heard the introduction part of this video, that this week, every single day, there is one planetary shift happening. So like your ascendant lord will also transit on Tuesday, when it will move to the Capricorn sign. So that means like all the planets are now shifting their base from your third house to the fourth house. That means if you're planning any travel during this time, like around this time, back to your home country, any land property related deal, any political aspiration you have, any major investments you have to do, so stars are going to be much supportive for you. But like the way I mentioned, this is a transitional week. Over and above that, your 10th lord is going to be debilitated around the mid of the week. So friends, okay, let's start step by step. So around Monday, your 10th lord is going to be there in your first house. It is supportive for your, like, have that limelight and being in control, command of major areas of the life. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is going to be slightly sensitive because your 10th lord is going to be debilitated in the second house, and around the same time, the overlap is around the same time, Venus is going to be shifting zodiac signs. Sun, there's going to be Makar Sankranti. So I would say that just don't be in a rush, in a haste to take any important decision, or don't stress too much. Like people, I have seen, like if for the Libra Lagna, moon is afflicted, like your moon does not have a Pakshbal. With Libra Lagna, you have a Amavas birth. So Amavas means the 10th lord and 11th lord, they might be conjunct together in some house. Moon does not have any light. So these people are always insecure for their gains, for their income, for their career. So that is the only reason I'm saying this thing, that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday might make the Libra Lagna slightly destabilized or emotionally sensitive. And Rahu in your 5th house is actually bombarding you with too many overthinking, too much of the overthinking. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is slightly sensitive for too much excessive planning, thinking in the matters of the finances or family. So don't get too stressed. It's just a temporary kind of thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And friends, Friday, Saturday is going to be slightly supportive. If you have to undertake any travel, do any paperwork, anything to do with, like, you are a creator, you are an influencer, supportive time. And friends, around the end of the week, then you will have, like, moon is going to be a part of all these planets like Sun, Mars, Venus, Mercury in your 4th house. The beauty of the 4th house is that all the planets give their straight aspect to the 10th house. So that means, like, I would say that you are in a very empowered position, friends, and expect some good news in the matters of the family, or some major turnaround in the career related matters around the end of the week, like around Sunday, if I were to say. So yes friends, that is all what I have to say. In the matters of relationship, your public image, career related turnaround of things is going to happen. You are headed in the right direction, but that is going to be around the end of the week. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is slightly sensitive in the domain of finances, in the domain of the family. Like, don't get too stressed, or don't speak out of, like, anxiety, nervousness, because people can actually sense your nervousness, your insecurity. And we live in a day and age where there are, like, predators, and people are there who are willing and ready to take advantage. So just be very careful. Now friends, when we talk about the Scorpio Lagna natives, so friends, in your case, as you can see that now the whole planetary shift this week is going to be happening now from your 2nd house to your 3rd house. That means every single day there is one planet which is stepping out of your 2nd house and shifting its base to your 3rd house. But friends, the good part is that irrespective of this fact that your ascendant lord is combust, your 7th lord is combust, but Mars in the 3rd house is considered as very strong. So I would say that the week is going to be slightly transitional. I will talk about that. But by the end of the week, on around the end of the week, on Sunday, on January 18th, you will have 5 planets, including moon, in your 3rd house. That means energies are getting aligned in a way to empower you. All of your resources are going to be there to help you. It's just like that. This is a transitional kind of week. So till the time planets have not settled down in the territory of a specific house, you're not ready, you're not confident, you have not worked on the details in a proper way, don't be in a rush to act with half-cooked planning. That is what I'm trying to say. Friends, for the start of the week, Monday is supportive for any travel, pilgrimage, any meditation, retreat and all. Energy of the Monday, the beginning of the week is supportive for that. After that, friends, around the mid of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, your ninth lord is going to be transiting in your first house. Although it is going to be kind of debilitated, but at the same time the dispositor is going to be headed towards its exaltation. So I would say that the mid of the week is actually empowering you, friends. Luck will support you, and there's a high possibility like all those things which have been long struck, you can see a development over there. You applied for a job and your invitation letter can come anytime, or you have been in talks with any vendor, any client for any of your business aspiration. So this week is creating that energy that the wheel will move in your favor. Also, friends, when we talk about the Friday and Saturday. So on Friday and Saturday, your ninth lord is going to be transiting in your second house. So that also tells about that because of the support of the luck, there will be spike in the income. In terms of the income, finances, family, seeing you in control, in command of everything. Like I'm not seeing you vulnerable. Like your 10th lord in this Makar Sankranti is also going to be transiting in your third house. So yes, friends, planets are perfectly aligned for the Scorpio Lagna in major avenues of the life. Whether you talk about relationship, anything to do with initiating something, launching something, releasing something, your public image, your confidence, your prowess. So in majority of the avenues, I don't have anything to warn to the Scorpio Lagna. All what I can say is that just do the Hanuman Chalisa and just don't be in a haste, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, till the time the planets have not settled down to act on something for which you are not properly confident or well planned or well prepared. But overall, the look and feel of this week is very, very supportive for the Scorpio Lagna in major avenues and areas of the life. Now, friends, when we talk about the Sagittarius Lagna natives. So, friends, for the Sagittarius Lagna natives, as you can see that the week will start with Moon starting its journey from your 11th house, and it will end the week like at the end of the week on January 18th. Moon is going to be a part of like 4 other planets. You will have 5 planetary concentration happening in your second house. I will talk about that. But friends, to begin with, see, the thing is you have been enduring the burden or the load of too much planetary vibration energy over your first house. In certain cases, friends, it has been seen, because you are a Sagittarius Lagna, where there is a lot of the moral obligation. Sometimes, you see things are not happening in the right way. You can take a shortcut, you can cut the corners, but just because there is a lot of the moral obligation over your shoulder, on your head, people expect a lot from you. So because of that, I would say that at least that moral obligation is now going to be shifting. To begin with, friends, like the start of the week, like Monday, is very supportive for spike in the income, socialization. The mid of the week, see now, friends, you have to understand that when I say that the whole planetary energy is in a transition, that means planets are not stable. Mars is combust as well, Venus is combust as well. So I mean to say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, your 8th lord is going to be transiting from the 12th house. So especially for those people in whose case you are running some vulnerable dasha, your natal moon is afflicted, it can actually make you slightly anxious, uncertain about things. And just because all that planetary stellium shift is happening in your second house, so insecurity might be regarding the family, regarding the finances. See, friends, for the Sagittarius Lagna natives, we cannot overlook this fact that Saturn right now is transiting in your 4th house. So domestic life is under tremendous pressure. I'm telling you, I'm a Aries Lagna, Saturn in my 12th house. Never ever I have had any issue with the sleep. In the last 48 hours, I just slept 2 hours. I'm not getting sleep. I don't know what to do. So I mean to say Saturn in the 4th house, in the 12th house is slightly, it's a pressurizing kind of time. Our emotions, our domestic life is under tremendous pressure. So I mean to say just work on the anxiety, friends. Yes, especially anxiety might be connected with the insecurity connected to the family, to the finances, to the domestic life. Even if you have to undertake any travel, just follow caution and care. I would say that the 12th house connected remedy, the best remedy for the 12th house is always charity, always service, unconditional service. So any charity, any donation will actually safeguard your interest. And yes, there might be sudden expenses as well. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is creating a vulnerability of that. After that, friends, around Friday and Saturday, your moon is going to be transiting in the 1st house. Moon in itself carries the energy of the 8th house as well. But just because Dhanu, its placement over there, and with the shift of the planets, including your 9th lord, Ketu over there, so expect some major turnaround. Some sudden transformative opportunity can be expected around the end of the week. So yes, friends, that is what the overall look and feel is for the Sagittarius Lagna natives. If I were to say, in the matters of the finances and all, and in order to strengthen your position, now in whichever way it is getting applicable in your case, but this is going to be the week, and after this week it is actually going to strengthen your position of the finances, your place in the society, respect, honor. So all of that will happen. Just like that, friends, the mid of the week slightly cautious and careful of anxiety. Now friends, when we talk about the Capricorn Lagna, so yes friends, for the Capricorn Lagna natives, the past couple of days, or I would say last 2 weeks, have been slightly like too exhausting, draining, high expenses, I'm sure, which the Capricorn Lagna would have dealt with. Again, because friends, Rahu in the 2nd house might be good for sudden financial gains, but again, you cannot trust a planet like Rahu, right? So Rahu is slightly fluctuating whenever it is there in the 2nd house, and with the major planetary concentration for long in your like 12th house, I'm sure the expenses would have been high. But now friends, this is going to be stabilizing week. It's just like that with this transition of the planets, like entering your 1st house but crossing the boundaries from the 12th house. That means just don't be in a rush, especially because moon in your case is your 7th lord, and it is going to be debilitated around Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in your 11th house. So whatever aspiration you have, whatever goals you have, whatever client, whatever projects you are pursuing, or you are currently actively working on them, just don't be in a rush, in a haste to take any decision or act on any impulse. That is all what I can say. So friends, step by step, like Monday will start with moon being there in your 10th house. It's like kind of a, like, you know, when because Jupiter is also going to be giving aspect to this moon when it is going to be transiting in the 10th house. So Monday is going to be beneficial for you, especially for work or career related endeavors. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, moon is going to be there in your 11th house. So I'm sure that, you know, in this kind of alignment, it is actually going to be making you very focused, very obsessive regarding your goals, regarding your aspiration. But again friends, if I were to say, like for any like the way we say that you propose someone, or you have to like schedule any important meeting and all, where a lot is at stake, so I would say that better pick the following week, the next week, because this week major planetary shift is happening, like your 10th lord and your like 9th lord, all the planets are in a transition, even your 11th lord. So I mean to say, I will not recommend you any important major collaboration, important meetings to schedule this week with this much of the transition happening. And friends, for anything to do with the international travel, overseas interest, visa related dealing, negotiation, or any H1B visa appointment and all, so Friday, Saturday, Friday is supportive for that. And friends, at the end, when moon is going to be part of all the 5 planets, like all the 5 planets are going to be there in your 1st house, it is going to be a very empowering kind of combination. Those who are like awaiting any important position, appointment call, or you have to give any presentation, go for an important meeting, so end of the week will actually give you your power back, which has been lacking from past couple of days. So yes friends, that's all what I can say for the Capricorn Lagna natives. Now friends, when we talk about the Aquarius Lagna natives, so friends, for the Aquarius Lagna natives, Moon will start its journey from your 9th house and it will finish the week co-joined with like 4 other planets in your 12th house, which will happen on Sunday. Like the way I've been saying this thing for all the zodiac signs, it is a kind of a transitional week. It is a kind of a very exceptional week where every day, almost every day, a planet is, shifting sign. So, and in your case, friends, just because it is happening in your 12th house now, so that means planets are shifting from the house of the gains to the house of the exhaustion of the energies. So then that means sometimes what happens is that, friends, letting go is very important. Like, sometimes you are holding too strongly to something. This could be a thought which is not good for you. This could be any relationship. This could be some sort of like, those people in life and all. So I would say that letting go is the mantra for you for this week. Life is actually headed towards major transition. See guys, I always say, like, wheresoever Rahu and Ketu are transiting in our chart, fated events happen in that axis, and it is happening in your case in the 1st house, in the 7th house. Saturn, your ascendant lord, being there in the 2nd house. So a lot is happening right now in your case. Don't resist. That is my mool mantra for you. Don't resist for this week. Focusing precisely the journey of the moon. So friends, on Monday, like your 6th lord is going to be transiting in the 9th house, which is a supportive sign for travels, any visa, immigration related work, or any pilgrimage, any religious visit. So Monday is supportive for that. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, like your 6th lord is going to be debilitated in your 10th house. So again, friends, like the way I mentioned this thing, like, don't be too anxious and nervous in the matters of the development taking place at work, because what on surface looks like, oh, this opportunity is going from my hand, this power, this position is going from my hand, oh, people are plotting against me. It might be happening for your good. Only when you release something which is not giving you result, you sow seed for some new development. You pave path towards some new development. Why? Because planets are shifting in your 12th house, but the 10th lord is exalted over there. So it has the potential to put you in a better position. But yes, friends, the mid of the week is going to be the work pressure, duties, responsibility, expectation of the bosses, and like the way we say that surveillance and monitoring is going to be very high. Yes, friends, for the Aquarius Lagna, especially if you are in a line of work where there is a lot of like corruption, bribery, all of that is involved, you have to be very careful now. Rahu is the chief masquerader. It's the agent of chaos. And 12th house is the actual house of imprisonment and all, right? And Saturn, like having the rulership of the 12th and the 1st being in the 2nd house, it delivers the justice over there. So I mean to say, you have to be very careful, especially those people where anything connected with tax evasion, bribery, corruption, you are in a sensitive portfolio where you're dealing with the classified information. You have to be very careful. It's like surveillance is there right over you, over your head. Your bosses are monitoring you. And friends, so yes, work will keep you busy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Around Friday, friends, expect some major turnaround with your 6th lord being well placed in your 11th house. It is going to be very supportive. Some sort of important news or auspicious news or some important project which you have been pursuing, some important client which you have been chasing can actually get finalized around the Friday and Saturday when moon is going to be in your 11th house, which is also going to be supportive for the some sudden spike in the income as well, or some for a very short window of time, suddenly you did something, people are appreciating you for a very short span of time, you are famous in your group and all, that could happen. And yes, friends, end of the week is going to be very mysterious, some sudden turnaround. And please, if you're watching this video, you're Aquarius Lagna, whatever happened at the end of the week, when 5 planets are going to be there in your 12th house, do write it in the comment section. I actually want to know what actually happened. Again, friends, my take in all these weekly planning videos, all calculation, is all logic and scientific. I'm not giving any prophecy. So that is the reason I'm also curious to know that what happens. Okay, friends, and when we talk about the Pisces Lagna, so friends, in your case, the major planetary shift now is happening in your 11th house. That in itself means that whatever you have sown in the past couple of days or weeks, I would say, now is the time to capitalize on that and cash on that. So friends, moon, which happened to be a 5th lord, it will start its journey from your 8th house. So Monday is going to be emotionally slightly stressful, especially those who are in research and all, research student, occult interest, it might be beneficial for you. But for rest of the people, mind is going to be slightly stressful. But friends, then week will uplift. It is actually going to be uplifting kind of week for the Pisces Lagna native. See, the thing is, a lot of the transition is happening. And friends, in your case, because see, for certain people, I say like for the Scorpio Lagna, ascendant lord in the 9th house, people say gets debilitated. I have seen people getting good results. See, 9th house has got a lot of the positivity in it. You cannot say this thing that if the 5th lord is getting debilitated in the 9th house, that means it's the share of the luck, it's the loss of the luck. It's not like that. Rather, I would say that this is the combination where the mind surrenders to the divinity and see the divine play, what is happening in the life. So friends, the mid of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is supportive for travels or anything to do with the like visa, immigration, import, export, pilgrimage. It's very supportive for that. Luck is very supportive for you this week, if I were to say. And friends, on Friday, Saturday, moon is going to be there in your 10th house. So the work will be priority, and there's a high possibility Pisces Lagna native, the way stars are aligned for you, you will get a vision of something. Like, vision, I would say that you might have that talent, but you have always either underappreciated yourself or undermined yourself, or people around you haven't given you access to better opportunities. So this is going to be a week, especially in the matters of your career and all, or because at the end of the week, 5 planets are going to be there in your 11th house. So this week, around the end of the week, can actually give you a vision, what you can end up becoming, your highest potential. So yes, friends, because Rahu, whenever it is there in the 12th house, Rahu actually brings access to opportunities which has been lying hidden. So, and with this kind of concentration of the planets, this is how it is going to be turning out for you. So yes, friends, that is all what I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. Once again, thanks a lot for watching this video, and for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.